Hi.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah. yeah. Welcome to today's episode on Tech with Iroh. Um, I am Iroh Nkechi Omolola. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
It's
Okay.
good to be here.
Yeah. Thank you. So today's episode, right, will be on mobile development, and it will be the topic is on emerging technologies in mobile app development, basically. And we know you to be a mobile developer, so that's why we are actually happy to have you on our podcast show, so you can educate our listeners on emerging technologies in mobile development and how they can actually basically work with technologies, the emerging technologies, how they can work with them in their own career path as a mobile developer. So thank you for our invitation. So can you just kind of give us like a brief introduction about yourself as a mobile developer, basically? Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. It's good to be here. I'm Gideon Olarewaju. I've been a developer for 5 years plus now. Building mobile applications in the fintech industry, e-commerce industry, and even logistic platforms. Yeah, so that's a brief overview about me. So today, what I have for you is just simply to talk about emerging technologies in mobile development, because most of us have our day-to-day jobs, and we're often archaic with our development, and we often only work on things that the company will work for. If the company is stuck in the past, then you actually have to just keep working on that. But you need to actually be evolving and moving with the times. So there are different applications and technologies now that can be used to enhance user experience, and and also increase user engagement on the applications. Yeah. So
Okay.
the first technology I'll be talking about is technology of instant applications. These
Yes.
instant apps, you must have seen them probably like you're playing a game and an advert pops up, and you are allowed to play that game for like maybe a few seconds before it tells you to go and download. So instant apps are like apps that are like your traditional app that you have to download. For instant apps, you don't really have to download it. You just have to like click the link, and you basically have a taste or an experience of some parts of the application without having to install it. They are lightweight, and you can just quickly load it through a link. So that's basically what an instant application is.
Oh, okay. So thank you for introducing the emerging technologies in mobile development, and you started with instant application. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
But I would like to know what makes instant apps so significant in mobile app development landscape.
Okay. So there are actually more technologies, but okay, since we start with instant apps, so I'll just talk about that first. So what makes it significant is how they provide a kind of like seamless user experience. So when something is seamless, you don't have to wait, like it just works. So the experience is kind of seamless for a user because you don't have to install it, so you don't have to wait for it to get installed, and you can try out the application just like that. So this actually leads to like increased user acquisition and engagement, because more people are able to and try your app without having to download it, because some of us might just not feel like downloading that application. So that's where that comes in. That's where instant applications come in. So they often
okay.
also, yeah. So they
No,
also
go
have
ahead.
another advantage, okay, which is
Okay.
it works on both your iOS devices and your Android device.
Android.
So it's it's platform independent. You can work on any platform. So it's kind of like an hybrid experience. Yeah.
But from a technical standpoint, how do developers in this aspect, how do they create instant apps? Because I'm
Okay.
trying to understand what makes it different from like the usual application, basically.
Okay. So since you can only like view or experience a part of the application, so that should give an idea that lets you know that the app is actually being modularized. So there's if you're a developer, you understand what like a dynamic module is. So you can actually have like a module that only allows you to experience this part or this feature from an application. So the way it is done is it requires modularizing the main app into like smaller modules. So these modules, you can call them feature sets. So each module represents like a specific functionality of that application. So by doing this, you can actually ensure that only the necessary parts that you want to actually allow the user to experience is accessed by the user that is trying to like access the instant application. So once you have these feature sets, you can have links to these feature sets. So you are sure that the user will only have access to that part of your application. So as for maybe like things like challenges that occur, maybe the developer probably needs to like manage the size of the instant application. That's to like ensure it remains responsive and also like fast. To ensure it remains fast and responsive. So basically, what this means is you just need to like strike a balance between offering the experience that the user can be attracted to before downloading your app, maybe like a feature that makes sense, that you know that yes, it can be engaging, and also keeping the app lightweight. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Thank you. So before you actually move to your other aspect of technologies in mobile development, a question just like came in now, and the question is, can you kind of give like a real life use cases where these instant applications have been used in particular, maybe to direct mobile developers to such kind of a use case so they can understand it more appropriately?
Definitely.
Okay.
So instant apps have actually proven to be effective in various industries. For example, in your e-commerce sector, maybe you're trying to like get the user to just quickly browse your products, and they can even make purchases, without having to download your full application. So you can just have that feature set where they can just quickly browse some particular set of products and actually purchase it without having to download the full app. Another example is in your travel industry, you can have access to features like flights or hotel bookings. So maybe you want to like get your user to like book a flight, or you want them to book an hotel room. So you can use it in this kind of scenario. Also, you can use it in apps like maybe your news app, maybe like sport news or any kind of news. Maybe you just want them to like read a particular news about maybe a particular genre, maybe sports or entertainment or something like that. So basically just allows users to benefit by delivering like immediate access to articles, or maybe even for your news, maybe you have a video article as well. So these are like real life use cases.
Okay, thank you very much. So you can actually continue your emerging technology. Sorry, I had to just chip in some questions so as our listeners can follow properly.
That's fine. That's cool. Okay, so I would like to talk about another emerging technology, although this one has been around for a while, but I would still say it's emerging because most people have not yet adapted to it, which is cross-platform development.
Okay.
So, for example, you have mobile applications that can run on multiple operating systems, like your iOS and your Android. yet they have a single code base. Unlike when you have your native apps that you have to actually separate the code base, because that's what they require. They require separate code bases for each platform. So cross-platform apps enable you to have just one code base, which allows you to write the code just once. Then you can deploy it across different platforms. So that's basically what cross-platform applications are.
So it's just for you to have one code base and you can deploy on different
platforms. Yeah. For example, your iOS and your Android platform.
Okay. So what makes cross-platform app development so appealing to developers and businesses?
Okay, this is actually a good question. There are several reasons why it makes it appealing to them. So, for example, first, this is the most basic and the first example. It reduces development time and cost. Everybody will agree with me that cost is important when you want to do business.
True.
Yeah, and business development, cost has to be almost number one. But basically, if you actually want good code, you need to spend money. But when we are talking in terms of cross-platform app development, it reduces development time and cost. Because with a single code base, your developer can build apps for multiple platforms. And it also allows businesses to reach a larger audience, because you don't have to develop on different platforms. So you just have basically one code base for different platforms. So this way cost is reduced, because businesses don't have to hire another iOS developer or another Android developer, because you want to reach audiences on different platforms. So you basically have just one code base. So also React Native and Flutter, for example, they offer native-like performance and user experiences. So these frameworks actually are attractive for developers to build cross-platform development because of this reason.
Okay, thank you for that. Can you share some common hurdles that developers face, and what you feel that this practice can actually help them overcome such hurdles?
Yeah, so some problems developers face
when it comes to the cross-platform application, basically. Yeah.
Okay, so one of these problems is actually maintaining maybe specific user interfaces and experiences. So while having a cross-platform framework like React Native or Flutter handles this for them automatically, there are still some platform-specific interfaces. There can be interfaces that are specific for Android that might not be on iOS. So things like this might be an hurdle. But the best way to tackle issues like this is actually to customize your UI components for each of these platforms to ensure that the user has a seamless user experience. Another thing to consider is optimization, which is performance optimization, which is critical and
very, very optimizing the app.
Yeah. So developers have to profile and maybe fine-tune their apps to deliver a smooth experience across devices. Also, you actually need to keep up with the latest updates and advancements. Maybe those frameworks find a bug that they tackle. You have to keep up with that so that you can leverage their new features and improvements continually. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that question. I have one question from a listener. What do you envision for the future of cross-platform app development?
Okay, I think it's promising because these frameworks that are used for cross-platform development continue to evolve. For instance, Flutter now allows you to actually build even web applications apart from just Android and
oh wow,
apart from just Android and iOS, you can actually use that same code base to build a web application.
So are you saying now that if you're a Flutter person, you can actually see yourself as a web developer as well as a mobile developer?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. So you can explore that. Yeah, so you can explore that, and also you can still expect a better performance and increased support for native features like the user interface issue I spoke about earlier. So they are always looking for ways to evolve and make the framework better for developers to use. Also, some cross-platform apps will likely grow, and as businesses might actually seek ways to reach more target audiences on different platforms. So I believe we'll continue to actually see innovation in this field. So, and in the future, I think cross-platform development might be the go-to choice for mobile development, because you wouldn't want to hire different developers to build applications for
Hi.
I'm
so sorry for you were actually talking on the aspect whereby there are future for this cross-platform application development. Okay,
so I was like, the future is actually very promising, because these frameworks like React Native and Flutter, they continue to actually evolve, and we also have Kotlin multi-platform coming in, which is also a means whereby you can actually do the same thing, like build have one code base for different platforms. So these frameworks are constantly evolving to improve the performance of their frameworks and increase the support for native features on devices. Also, the demand for cross-platform applications as we speak is actually growing. More businesses actually don't want to hire an extra developer. They just want to hire one developer that can actually work on code base, or probably they want to have a team of developers that can work on cross-platform devices, and not developers that would only work on just one device, since it will cost them less money to have a team of developers that can work on cross-platforms. And so it will help these businesses to reach their target audiences on different platforms. So I believe that we'll continue to actually see innovation in this field, which will probably in the future make cross-platform developments the go-to choice for mobile developments, most likely. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. So cross-platform application is also another emerging technology in mobile development. Okay, that's interesting. You can carry on with your other emerging technologies.
Okay, another aspect would be AI apps. Everybody's familiar with how AI is
artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah.
Artificial intelligence is really taking over the market. So AI applications are basically applications that would leverage AI technologies or artificial intelligence technologies to enhance user experience and provide intelligent and context-aware functionalities or functions. Unlike our traditional apps, which are already built and rely on predetermined or pre-built algorithms, like the application is already built with predetermined algorithms. AI apps, rather, on the other hand, they learn from user interaction and adapt to your preferences as a user. So they basically make data-driven decisions. So that's what AI applications are.
Yeah, looking towards this AI aspects, right? So it's more like AI is everywhere. So it has actually unlocked a lot of possibilities when it comes to app development, basically. And I'm actually not too surprised when you actually mention it, because obviously AI is also in mobile app development.
Yeah.
But Could you share some popular use cases of AI apps and how they are impacting various industries at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. So AI apps have actually made significant impacts across different sectors. For example, in the healthcare sector, we have AI-powered apps that actually assist in diagnosing medical conditions and monitoring the health of patients. In the finance industry, we have AI apps that actually aid in fraud detection and provide personalized financial advice for users. We also have AI-driven learning apps that help you to maybe probably learn new languages by giving you personalized lessons. We also have the popular virtual assistants that AI also support, which is Siri. We have Siri. We have Google Assistant as well. We have Bixby from Samsung. So all these different impacts have become integral parts of people's daily lives. So they actually make tasks easier and more efficient for users and for the developers alike. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. While you were actually sharing some information, you made mention of impacting overall user experience. Can you dive deep into how AI's integration has actually impacted the user experience of the mobile applications?
Yeah, sure, okay. So AI actually impacts user experience overall by AI now provides personalized recommendations, even predictive analytics, and real-time insights to your users. It also tailors the contents, and services to individual preferences. For example, if you prefer a particular content and prefer a particular service, AI actually learns this and actually tailors your experience to that. Then we also have natural language processing. With this, AI can actually understand and respond to your language as a human. So this is evident in voice activated interactions, like when you speak to Siri, Siri actually speaks back because it knows that's because it has actually learned a natural language. So this is done by this natural language processing feature. So moreover, AI-powered mobile apps can actually also automate tasks. They can improve accessibility. Also, security is enhanced through biometrics, which these days now you can actually use your fingerprints to access your phone and do many other tasks, like maybe you want to make a transfer. These days, bank apps also have fingerprints. So yeah, there are many other possibilities like that AI brings to enhance user experience.
Okay, but in this AI side of emerging technology, are there any challenges that developers face when it comes to AI apps?
Yeah, certainly, definitely. So there are a few challenges actually, because for an AI application, you have to actually collect and obtain large and high quality and high quantity data sets for training. So it needs a large quantity of data sets, and it has to be quality data. You can't just put any kind of data, so that the prediction can be more accurate. So you need quality data and also quantity. You need a lot of quantity of data to ensure robust. Also, you have to ensure robust security measures and ensure that there's privacy when you are dealing with AI. Also, we have the issue of bias in AI, because you might obtain data for a specific set of people, which might not relate to another people. So we can use race, for example. Maybe there's a way a specific race does a specific task or handle a specific thing. It might be different from the way another race does. So you have to handle that bias so that you also have to look in the direction of ethics as well when you're implementing AI. So basically, the developer that is developing this has to be like transparent on how AI is used, so as to address this potential bias. Also, you should actually prioritize user consent and data protection. And you also have to like adhere to like industry regulations and standards. So yeah, there are actually a lot of challenges faced, but at the end of the day, yeah, AI is still like it's still like an ongoing development. So every day we are discovering new ways to like properly handle this. So like I said, for obtaining large quantity of data sets now, for example, it can be challenging for a specific, maybe like a specific niche or a specific domain. Access to quality data, it is actually essential to create an accurate and reliable algorithm. For security measures as well, you have to deal with sensitive user data, so you have to actually be careful about how this data is secure. It has to be crucial. So also you have the bias issue, which I mentioned earlier. So it has to like be handled properly as well. So as to help the decision making of the AI. So it makes proper decisions, also with the ethics and all. So yeah, basically that's all.
Okay, thank you so much on that aspect. You could actually still give more technologies in the emerging technologies in mobile development. Thank you for giving me accurate answers to the AI application questions.
Yeah. So I have again for you camera focused apps. Yeah. So we've been seeing apps that actually focus on the usage of the devices and camera these days. So they are basically applications designed to like optimize the smartphone's camera capabilities and enhance photography and videography in user experience. They actually have a wide range of features. Some of them have advanced filters, some of them have real-time effects, some of them have social sharing, where you can share your photography and your videos. So they've become more sophisticated over the years actually. In camera focused apps now, most of them leverage even AI and computational photography techniques, and they deliver stunning results. Yeah, so that's basically what camera focused apps are. So you can see an example every day in maybe your TikTok app, your Snapchats. Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, I was even trying to, sorry, because when you made mention of that, I was trying to like, okay, which angle is this coming from? I was trying to wrap my head on the application. So thank you for mentioning TikTok. TikTok is actually like a real application to mention when it comes to this aspect, basically. Okay, so in essence, you're saying this camera focused application actually deals when it comes to photography, creativity, that aspect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you think these applications have impacted photography culture in a way? Since you made mention of TikTok, how do you feel it has actually impacted photography? Because I'm trying to just imagine how the camera focused app and photography. What's the sync?
Okay, so they have actually how will I put it? Let me put it this way: they've made photography democracy. Before, not everybody would be like open to like, okay, I want to buy a camera, yeah, or I want to go and buy a camera. Back then, we used to have expensive cameras like the likes of Sony, the likes of Polaris used to make cameras. But these days now, you have that kind of camera standard, a digital camera standard on your mobile device. So it makes it accessible to millions of users worldwide. So that's why I would say it's like now it has made photography like a democracy. You can use it. You can be a photographer if you like, even if it's yourself you're capturing, but at least
Maybe,
everybody has access to it.
okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to say maybe it's just me in the entire world that doesn't have a Snapchat application, because really, I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I think I enjoy this aspect because I get to see a lot of people posting, it's my Snapchat, and it gives that kind of cool editing when
Yeah.
people take pictures. Quite interesting,
Exactly.
really, but I don't know. Maybe I'm in another
Exactly.
planet, so let's just imagine I'm not in this planet.
you
Okay.
might be a boring person to some sets of people if you don't actually engage in downloading these applications and using them
The
in a
moment we
graceful,
are
accurate.
done with this podcast, I'm definitely going to have one so that I just follow the trend. Okay.
That'll be best. All right.
So
So
okay, you have something to say. Go ahead.
yeah, so these applications have actually eased the use of using editing tools. For example, Photoshop now, there are some features Photoshop only had which can be accessed via your smartphones these days. For example, there's this feature that came with I think iOS 16 on Apple on Apple phones, which is the iPhone. There's this feature whereby you can just hold your picture and it cuts the background away, and you only have so you only have the person in that image. So before, that could only be achieved using Photoshop.
Cropping.
These days now, cropping it out. But it's
not
kind of
even
cropping,
when you crop, it doesn't still. It comes with the entire view of the background. But you're right. iPhone just only the people involved.
Only the person in the picture. So it's different from typical cropping whereby you just crop in triangles and
I still have some background.
This one is basically, it removes your whole background, and it's like you snipped or you cut around the person, so there's no background, it's just the person. So this feature now is actually accessible using a smartphone these days. So it also allows social sharing features, which is you now have a community whereby you can be creative with your photographs or your videos, and you have a community that actually gets to see your work, and you can even get feedback and learn from others. Also, you have a community you can learn from and see this person's creativity and photography and be like, wow, I want to try that. So we've seen, the world has seen a big surge in photographers turning into passionate photographers because of these applications and because of its contribution to the global visual culture. Also, these applications are often used they can also be used in the monetizing aspects, whereby we've seen people actually getting money for likes through this kind of applications.
True. And even the aspect of the photography, even people that actually don't have this thing now makes people that you wouldn't know that you have this photography skill, because everybody now knows how to take pictures. They just tell you take me from this angle. So it's like everybody have this skill, and let me not say it's camera focused application that has brought this skill out of everybody to okay, it looks like I can take pictures appropriately. That's cool.
Actually, because also you have people coming to do adverts. So because the community
content creators,
adverts. So the community is full of adverts and content creators like that. So so basically
this is actually really nice technology that's actually emerging. So I wanted to make mention of some features, but you actually mentioned one of it was a question I was going to ask when it comes to the features found in camera focused application, but you made mention of that one that has to do with you trying to take out the person or the person image from the entire background, separating them. So I don't know if you have other popular features, or maybe that's just the one you have basically.
Yeah, definitely. So there are actually more controls on your camera
Okay.
that actually gives photographers, or let me say users in this term, more creative freedom. So there are different controls like that allows you to adjust settings like the ISO setting on your camera, your shutter speed, your focus. Also, we have real-time features now and effects that add creativity to your photos and your videos. All these filters like instantly like enhance your visual appeal as a user. So once you see filters like this, yes, you feel like actually trying them on your own picture as well. Also, we have features like the portrait mode, we have the night mode on some of these applications, and HDR, which allows you to capture high definition pictures, and users can actually capture stunning images even in like maybe dark conditions. Now maybe there's around you is night and you can't really see around. Some of these cameras actually capture images in the dark properly. So this has also allowed companies like Samsung, iPhone, that's Apple that make iPhones. It has allowed them to actually integrate these features as well in their own devices camera, since they see that people are actually interested in it. So now when they are making a new phone, their flagship phone, they add these features automatically. So most of these features you find on Instagram or Snapchat, they now tend to add it to their own camera app as well.
Wow. Thank you for that information. So with these advancements that we've been seeing when it comes to camera focused apps, they're actually remarkable. But looking ahead, what do you think we should expect from this application in the future? What are your future?
Okay.
What are the future aspects when it comes to this application?
Okay. Sorry. I need to take a sip of water.
oh, it's fine. So sorry. It's fine.
All right. Okay, so I think the future is actually promising, and it has been promising for quite a while now because new features keep coming out. So I think we can also anticipate even more seamless integration of AI and machine learning, which actually enables these applications to like improve image quality and user experience. I think we should be ready to experience more AR features, which is augmented reality features. This might be more prevalent, adding different overlays and effects to reward scenes. For example, I think you've seen, let me explain what's an example of this augmented reality. For example, when you're in a Google Meet, you can actually add a background of a place where you're not. You can pretend you're at the beach. Yeah, you can pretend you're in front of a museum or something like that. Yeah, so I think this will be more prevalent.
The way you made it without Google just reminded me of a scenario where I was actually not really in a cool environment and I needed to jump on a professional meeting. I just gave myself those bookshelves, and in my mind I'm like,
who are those? Where you were.
Like
only they knew.
Yeah, right. It's actually cool. It gives that kind of cool look, because just imagine if there were no features like that, I'll just be seen in a background that's not so
that's not presentable.
That's not presentable.
So
okay,
this AR will be more prevalent. Also, I think with the combination of 5G with these apps, we will be having more seamless streaming. Like people, like content creators, for example, that love to live stream. I think that it will be more seamless in the future. And then real-time collaboration, for example, like you said about the Google Meet, sometimes you experience a lag whereby you guys might not be on the same page, but I think it will be more real-time than it is right now. So it will transform the way we interact and actually share visual content in the future.
Okay, Thank you so much on that aspect. So, do you have more emerging technologies to still share when it comes to mobile
Def-
development?
Definitely, there are different technologies that are emerging right now. We still have the Internet of Things. We have the progressive web apps. We have
Oh,
different ones. Yeah,
IoT.
yeah,
IoT. Okay.
yeah.
So can you should we dive let's dive a bit into IoT. So can you just like brief us what IoT is
Okay.
actually doing in the mobile space?
Yeah. So in the mobile space and Internet of Things, the applications actually leverage this technology to connect and control devices and sensors, smart devices and sensors, if I may add. These applications allow you as a user to like remotely monitor, manage, and interact with other enabled devices in the IoT aspect. So this creates like a seamless and intelligent environment for you. This Internet of Things has actually been revolutionizing different parts of our lives. For example, now people have smart homes and wearable devices. So an example of these wearable devices is your Apple Watch, which can be connected to your Apple phone, which can then your Apple phone can be connected to um, your Mac laptop. So your Mac laptop could be connected to maybe an Apple speaker. So basically, it's like it's like an ecosystem so of things connected to the internet in your home. So yeah, so we have different parts of um, our everyday living that's revolutionized by this. Even transports, even people in industry, like when you're maybe making large scale productions, you can actually have Internet of Things involved in all this. But right now we're talking about applications, so I would actually stick to homes
Oh,
and
well,
yeah, smart
okay.
homes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you on that aspect. But I would like to know, are there like some specific use cases, reward applications where IoT apps have brought about some significant changes?
Yeah, definitely. This has been evident in different sectors actually. So um, I don't know why I want to start with this. Let me start with like agriculture. So in
Okay.
IoT now, farmers actually engage IoT applications to help them facilitate their farming skills. Like there's this thing they call precision farming, which
Precision.
means precision farming, which means
Okay.
that you are monitoring the soil temperature, you are monitoring all the aspects that has to do with your crops to enable you to yield optimal crops. So there's the monitoring of your soil moisture to make sure that it's the proper rates. You monitor your soil temperature, you monitor your crop health. So this helps them to achieve increased yields in their farm produce because they know the proper measurement of these aspects. Also, we have in transportation, we have vehicle tracking, we have route optimization, we have driver safety. So when you say vehicle tracking, I think that's self-explanatory. You're able to track your vehicle. Route optimization, like your Google Maps, you're able to like know the fastest routes to a specific destination. Driver safety as well. Maybe there has been an accident or something. There's a trigger that alerts emergency services. Also, we have applications in the healthcare system, which also like offers remote health monitoring and also when fitness trackers. So when I say, let me go back to that remote health monitoring, I think there's this aspect now that your hospital or your GP or your doctor actually knows what's wrong with you before you actually even know by fitting a tracker on the patient. You actually know that So you also have smart devices that are personalized for patient care. Yeah, so we have different aspects like that.
Okay. So I don't know. You're mentioning IoT, and you said when it comes to Google Maps, trying to track. So are you saying that Google Map as it is now is also under like the IoT, Internet of Things application?
Yeah. Basically, what an Internet of Things application means is it's all things connected to the internet, using things that are connected to the internet. Then they can communicate with each other and stuff like that.
Okay. Quite clear. So definitely we'll always see challenges, the pros and cons when you make use of a particular thing. So I would want you to share with Hello?
Okay. Are you still here? I couldn't hear you anymore.
Oh, I said I would love you to share with us, because definitely we know that when it comes to a particular thing, there are pros and cons. So I would want you to share with us challenges you feel developers will face when it comes to building IoT applications, and how you feel they can address such concern.
Okay. Actually, I thought you cut off. Okay, so.
Oh, so sorry.
So yeah, building IoT applications actually comes with some unique challenges. The most evident one would be interoperability, which is, will this work on different devices, on different IoT devices? Like, there is also the challenge of data management and storage. Also, ensuring smooth communication or seamless communication between the devices and the app. Also, things like addressing security concerns, which is of utmost importance when it comes to mobile developments, because of your data and because of the user's data. So you have to prevent like unauthorized access to your IoT devices. So you have to like, as a developer, I think you have to like implement encryption, authentication, and different security measures to make sure that data is not stolen and your data is not altered. So you have to have a secure protocol for that to safeguard sensitive information about the user and prevent things like even potential cyber threats from hackers. Yeah. So those are different ways.
Okay, thank you so much. While you were talking on other emerging technology, while you were mentioning other emerging technologies, you made mention of progressive web applications. Okay, so I would love us to quickly dive into that before rounding up this section. So could you just like brief us what the PWA means? Because we just get to hear PWA. And it's I really want to understand, because from what it means, like from the word PWA, I'm seeing a web inside, like progressive web. So how does it attach to mobile? So so I want you to bring like an elaboration when it comes to PWA, so that others can actually learn, because we have some people that they don't really understand what PWA means.
Okay, so PWAs are actually similar to instant applications, but in this case, they actually work on your web applications. So that's why they are called web applications. So that's why they are called progressive web applications. So they leverage your web technology and they deliver like a native-like experience on mobile devices. You might actually not even know that it's actually a web app when you're using it, unless you know that yes, I'm actually accessing it from my browser. So they also combine the best of different worlds, because they can actually also work on different platforms, since you only need your web browser to access it. And they also help with the functionality and the performance of native apps by using a web browser. You also have the functionality and the performance from native applications. Yeah, so that's basically what a PWA is.
Okay, sorry that I'm diving out a little, but I would want to know, do you what are those instances that make people to want to go in for PWA? Like, see, while you were talking, you made mention of it's their web applications, but you might actually not know if you're using it from your phone. So is it that it's a web developer that, like, the code base is what is being transformed to sort? I need to, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
So for a PWA, actually, it depends on the framework you use. If you are a web developer and you decide to use React, fine. But as long as it works well on, and it is adaptable to the screen on the mobile phone. So I believe web developers also actually put into consideration
responsiveness.
Screen responsiveness when a user actually visits
website
on
their phone.
on your device. So that's basically how it is.
Wow, that's interesting. And, okay.
So I made mention that it's actually different from your instance application.
Okay.
They both offer almost the same contributions, like improve user experience on mobile device and working on different platforms. But for PWAs, a PWA is actually a typical web application. So it uses modern web technologies. But instance applications are actually provided by your platform. So it could be like your Android operating system or your iOS operating system. So also the PWAs are designed to actually give you access to almost all features on the application. But for instant applications, you only have access to a few features. So so basically they have different scenarios where they are used as well.
Okay, thank you for that. I have actually two more questions to ask you. One is based on the progress, the PWO, that's progressive web application. So you made mention of like the difference between the instant apps and that of the PWA. Are there advantages that this PWA bring? Like, are there advantage that the progressive web apps bring to the table when it comes to the mobile applications?
Yeah, first and foremost, they are like they also eliminate installations. You don't have to install, just like your instance application. So you can just simply visit the website and add the PWA to your home screen. You'll have seen an example of a PWA whereby you actually have to it's almost like you downloaded a browser, and but the browser will have like the logo and like the name of the application. So once you click it, it opens like your web browser. So basically it eliminates the friction of installing the application from the start. So you can just simply visit the website, then add the PWA application to your home screen. Then the ease significantly increases when you're a user and you're trying to engage. And also for a business, you have increased user engagement, and user retention, because it's easier for the user to just go there and access it. It's also lightweight, so there's a faster load time, and your data is actually not being as consumed as well sometimes. Yeah, so basically they have different advantages.
Okay.
And also
Thank you.
maybe you might actually like not have time to like develop the mobile application like as a whole. Maybe you just want to give the user the experience of
The mobile
your,
view.
yeah, the mobile view of your web application. Sorry, of your website or your web application. Still the same thing. So
Yes, we have
you might just
application.
want to like just give them the mobile view. So yeah, something like that.
Okay. Thank you so much for this topic. Actually, it's actually interesting talking to you, having conversation, or I'll call it like a chat when it comes to emerging technologies
Likewise.
and mobile
Likewise.
mobile development. Thank you so much. But a question actually dropped, right? And I don't know, it's quite personal. I think the person will really want to know how it has been for you as a mobile developer. Has been experienced, like there's really no there's really no quite a long time for you to like give us so much breakdown when it comes to that aspect, or maybe more like just give us how has it been as a mobile developer, like has been for you as a mobile developer. And while you're chipping that in, you could just this is like my own last question when on our podcast channel for this topic, basically like you dropping advice for aspiring mobile developers to stay up to date, with latest emerging technologies, because everybody actually had like a background and what they have learned so far, like from the beginning as a mobile developer. And we get to see these days that developers always be like, this is what I know. Like, it's quite funny, when it's like, okay, this is what I know. I just want to be good at this.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to learn new things. Nobody wants to work with new technologies, and they just stay in the archaic system. So maybe you have advice for people like that, and how you feel they can move on when it comes to this, working with latest emerging technologies. But so far, how has it been for you as a mobile developer?
Okay, so for me as a mobile developer, I think it's been great, because going into development, my dream, my goal is to like leave a mark on this world, so that when I'm long gone, I know that yes, I impacted a lot of lives, whereby I made their users' lives easier in this aspect of mobile development. So
should I say, oh?
Nah.
I'm sorry.
By using my application, at least I made day-to-day life of the user easier. For example, a business person, I made handling their business easier for them to do by providing an application that does most of their tasks for them, like receiving money and stuff like that. So seeing people use these applications actually give me joy, and makes me feel fulfilled every day.
Sure.
Yeah, when I check user engagement and I see that people are actually engaging, so it's been fun, because it's actually not just a career for me, it's actually a passion, because I enjoy doing things that are seen as useful. I enjoy being useful. So being a mobile developer makes me feel useful, because I can develop applications where lots of people, thousands of people, millions of people use in their day-to-day lives and day-to-day living. So as a mobile developer, there are different things that I've seen that have made me keep going and say, I made the right choice, which is like I stated. So advice for people that want to continue learning. As a mobile developer, you actually have to be learning continuously, because you have to stay up to date with the latest technologies and programming languages and frameworks. Some people might be like, they have to work there's actually no time to develop themselves, can work on is code base from your company, so there's actually no time. So the way I handle this is I keep my weekends sacred. Once I've worked for the week, my weekend is sacred. So during this weekend is where I involve myself in watching Android.io programs on YouTube, watching different YouTube videos, or going to Udemy, buying a course. So I stay up to date with the latest trends and latest technology this way. And I also have like a timetable for my own personal development, which I follow strictly. So once it's time for that, I follow it strictly. Then I try to like develop my own skills personally. Then also for aspiring developers, I believe learning the hard ways is actually the best way to learn, so that then other things can become easier since you learned the hard way. Most people are encouraged to write code applications without following the proper way, which is like following the proper paradigm. Things like following the solid principle, writing clean code, following the right architecture, things like writing tests. Most people are not encouraged to do that. They're encouraged to just learn and just build it, just let it work. For me, I don't believe that's the proper way to learn. I feel if you want to learn something, you learn the proper way. I'm not saying you shouldn't go through the basics. Yes, go through the basics.
Sure.
But once you are putting the basics together, always try to do it the hard way. Don't take the easy way out, and be consistent in your learning. While you're learning, don't take a break that's too long. If you want to take a break, take it short and get back to your learning. It pays in the end. That's just the truth. It pays to follow your dreams. Yeah.
This is quite encouraging. Thank you so much, Gideon Olarewaju. It was a nice moment hearing a lot from you, really.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. So guys, you've heard it from the mobile developer himself. You know, if I were to be the one talking about it, it's just going to look like it's in the mobile space, okay? And that's why I brought somebody in the mobile space to come share with us information that has to do with emerging technologies in the mobile development. And you've heard it all, because the truth is mobile development keeps evolving. And if you cannot meet with the trend, you'll be left behind. And you know what it is. Businesses, companies, and companies you're working for always want trends, always want to use new technologies in their project. And if you cannot beat it, you're out of the game, because they will definitely employ someone else that knows it way better than you. And that's why while you're in the system and while you're learning, while you're working, for a company, do not stop learning, because on the long run, it is what you know that takes you far. That is it, because you're working for the company wants something evolving, and you might not really know when another new project, or just like this AI that's happening now, people that actually know AI in the space are, and you that don't even know or don't have any knowledge of what AI is, and somebody that is in that same space with you know what AI is, and there is time to like drop off. Definitely, the company will see the other person as somebody that has more value than you that has known value. So you just have to keep working with emerging technologies and trends, latest technologies in your actual field. Yeah, I know Gideon spoke about his own field, mobile development, but this cuts across all other field, because looking at it, it's also relating to the web aspect too. And I'm so sure they have something similar when it comes to the design aspect. So you just have to ensure that you learn new technologies that has to do with your own space, and keep learning. Do not stop learning. I'm so sure Gideon is still learning. So if he's still learning, I'm still learning. Even senior developers are still learning, right? So who are you to say you're done learning?
As long as you're alive, you have to keep learning.
Okay, you're lucky I'm not with my king. You're lucky. So thank you so much for staying up until now on this show. Thank you so much, Gideon, for honoring
Yeah.
and it's a pleasure. Really, I'm really grateful that you're here
Thank you for
to
having me.
come share with us this knowledge. Imagine the quality information you gave us. Thank you for coming on the show to share this knowledge with us. So guys, see you next next month. Okay, and that's August. So it's just next week. So see you next month on this same channel, Tech with Iroh, where we share quality technical information for you to stay up on your game and keep pushing when it comes to your technical career. Thank you so much. See you. And for now, I'm still always your tech babe, Iroh Nkechi Omolola. Bye.